Hello, my friends, it's Danny, and today I am sharing a simple, delicious, crustless quiche with broccoli and cauliflower. Now, this is an easy recipe that can be enjoyed as a healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, or brunch. And if you prefer, you can certainly bake it into a crust. But a crustless quiche is just a bit lighter. Much like my spinach frittata, I love that a quiche can be made ahead of time because it makes it perfect for meal prep. So the first thing I'm going to do is preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I'm going to grease a 9-inch pie plate with a little bit of coconut oil. You could also use some butter or a cooking spray, whatever you have on hand, and I just like to use a paper towel to rub that around the dish, making sure I have a nice thin layer and that the dish is coated so that nothing sticks. So the next thing I'm going to do is prep my vegetables. I need 3 cups of broccoli florets and 3 cups of cauliflower florets. Now, a little tip for you whenever you are cutting florets, whether it's broccoli or cauliflower, it's a lot easier if you cut the stem side of the floret and then pull it apart, because this keeps the top in place intact and you won't have a bunch of little crumbs all over your cutting board. So you're just going to cut these into small bite-sized floret pieces. You can make them as big or as small as you prefer. And keep in mind, if you need a shortcut here, most grocery stores sell pre-cut florets already. So if time is not on your side, you can use that option as well. Once I have all of the veggies chopped and ready to go, I'm going to give them a rinse under some cold water, get them nice and clean, and you don't have to dry them. They can stay wet, because the next thing we're going to do is steam them to get them nice and tender before we add them to our pie pan. So I have a pot of water coming up to a boil here. Once I've got that bubble, I'm going to place my steamer basket on top of the pot and then just add the broccoli and cauliflower florets, pop on a lid, and then I set my timer for 6 minutes. You want the vegetables to become tender, but you don't want them to be mushy, right? So you still want them to have a bit of integrity, and you want them to have this beautiful, vibrant color. Then I'm going to carefully remove the steamed broccoli and cauliflower from the steamer pot using a slotted spoon and place them into my bowl. And then from here, I'm just going to season them very simply. I have a ½ teaspoon each of salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and then I will gently toss the veggies in that spice mixture. When in doubt, salt, pepper, and garlic powder will never let you down. From here, I'm going to gently transfer my steamed seasoned vegetables into my prepared pie plate, and then I'm just going to use my hands to even it out so they're in a nice even layer. Now, what I like to do here is sprinkle some sliced scallions right over the top of the vegetables. This offers a very mild onion flavor without being overpowering. And then we're going to sprinkle some cheese over the top. Now, I'm using a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and while sometimes I do buy my cheese pre-shredded at the grocery store for convenience, I do find when I buy the cheese in a block, it's creamier and it melts better. So what I like to do is just grate it myself on the large holes of a box grater. And then I'll take this cheese and sprinkle it right over the top of the vegetables. And keep in mind that you can use any type of cheese that you love or prefer here. I actually think a feta cheese or a goat cheese would also be delicious. Okay, so now it's time to make our egg mixture. Personally, whenever I'm making a frittata, an egg bake, or a quiche, I like to use a combination of whole eggs and egg whites. This both helps to lighten up the final dish just a bit, and more importantly, it helps to add more protein content to the meal. And since my 47-year-old self is on a mission to become the fittest, strongest version of Danny for 50, I'm always looking for more ways to increase the protein in my meals. With that being said, this recipe is very versatile. So if you prefer to use all whole eggs and not the egg whites, I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So for the base, we are using 6 whole eggs. Whenever possible, I do try to look for organic pastured eggs, but as always, use what you have, use what you love, use what is available to you. Then I'm going to add in 6 egg whites. Now, I usually buy my egg whites pre-separated at the grocery store, in which case the equivalent of 6 egg whites is going to be 1 1/4 cup egg whites. If, however, you prefer to use all whole eggs, skip the whites and up your egg content from 6 whole eggs to 9 whole eggs. Generally speaking, when you're swapping in eggs for egg whites, it's 2 whites per 1 egg. Then to add a nice, rich, creamy texture, I'm going to stir in a ½ cup of plain Greek yogurt. Not only is this delicious, but it's also going to add another little boost of protein. Then I'm going to use a fork and just whisk my eggs and my egg whites and my yogurt together until everything is well combined. And you will notice that you might have little clumps of yogurt in the egg mixture. Don't worry about it. Once you bake this up, those are going to melt right in. So I will gently pour my egg and yogurt mixture over the vegetables and the cheese and the scallions, making sure that it spreads throughout the pan nice and evenly. So you can just help it out a little bit if it needs a little extra assistance. Then I'm going to pop my crustless quiche into my oven that has been preheating at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to set my timer for 45 minutes. You want to bake your quiche until it is set through and slightly golden brown over the top. Once it's done, you just want to let it cool for about 15 minutes or until it's cool enough for you to comfortably handle. And then you can slice and enjoy your crustless broccoli and cauliflower quiche. You're going to get 6 beautiful servings out of this recipe. And as I mentioned earlier, it's a fantastic make-ahead recipe as well. So if you wanted to use this for your meal prep, you can just cut it into slices, transfer them into an airtight container, and this will happily last in your fridge for up to 5 days. This is a simple, beautiful recipe packed with protein and vegetables that is a delicious way to support your health, wellness, and/or weight loss goals. If you enjoy recipes like this, please take a moment to like this video and share it with anybody else you know who wants to make healthy eating easy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Danny Spies, and I'll see you back here next time with some more clean and deliciousness. Cheers! Keep in mind, you can use any type of cheese you love or prefer here. And keep in mind, you can use any type of cheese you love or prefer. And vegetables and is most... Ready?